wanting to distract yourself, or consumerism, or not being able to just sit still and be present. Your mind is constantly going, maybe to the point of not being able to fall asleep. Maybe you have a hard time to ground yourself and feel safe and stable and secure within yourself. It can manifest itself through aggression, or being irritated very quickly, or not having a purpose or goals that you're working towards, and just feeling inadequate, feeling not good enough, feeling like you are not worthy. These are all imbalances within the masculine energy. And I will get into a more detailed list a little bit later in the video, but if you are struggling with any of these things, then this video might be really helpful for you. So I would highly recommend and invite you to stick along for a little bit. Thank you for clicking on this video. My name is Felicia, and I just have a lot of stuff, insights, downloads, things that come up for me, and I just want to share it with the world because I think it could benefit people. So here I am, and today we're going to talk about the masculine energy, because recently I've gone through a whole journey around the masculine energy, and I have gained so much insight on how it actually feels within yourself to have a balanced and unbalanced masculine energy, and how to harmonize that again and rebalance it. So I just really want to go into the depth of the masculine energy and where the wounding of the masculine energy comes from, and how to actually start balancing it again. So to start off, I have this whiteboard, and you're not able to read it, but this is just for me. If I'm looking this way, it's because I have everything I want to mention on there. Oh, a dragonfly. For the people that already are aware of the masculine energy and what it is, you can skip along. But if you aren't aware of what the masculine energy is, it doesn't have anything to do with your sex or your gender. Everyone has masculine and feminine energy within themselves, and it's just a name that is given to certain qualities we all possess. You can also call it yin and yang, or you can call it alpha and omega, however you want to call it. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to call it the masculine energy. The qualities of the masculine energy are, you have this passive side of the masculine energy and the more active side of the masculine energy. The passive side of the masculine energy is the observer. It's the awareness that's behind everything. It's the stillness, and it's the one that has space, like it holds space for the feminine. And the more active side is the one that penetrates life. It's the one that takes action. It's one that actually does things in the material world to make it happen. And it's the one that that's connected to his goals, connected to his mission, to his purpose. It's your passion, it's your drive and your spark within yourself, the fire within yourself. Its main purpose of the masculine is to protect the feminine, to hold space and create space for the feminine to flourish. And this manifests itself in many different ways. But when you really zoom out, then that's kind of the main purpose of the masculine. Now the feminine is the one of emotion, is the one of the one that takes in space. It's the one that receives. It's the one that is kind of passive and attracts instead of penetrates life. It gets penetrated by life. It feels everything so deeply. So there are two different, like, polar opposites of one another. When somewhere in your journey there was a point where this masculine energy felt as if it wasn't able to protect or provide or give space, hold space for the feminine in the way that the feminine needed, then it'll start feeling inadequate. It'll start feeling like it's not good enough, like it's not worthy for this role, that it's not able to give the feminine what it needs. And this feminine can also be within yourself. It doesn't necessarily have to be an external feminine, but anytime things like these happen, the masculine just has this oof, and starts to feel really, really bad about itself, and starts to criticize itself, starts to overthink, starts to be judgmental towards itself, all out of this need to actually want to protect the feminine. And less confident this masculine energy becomes, the more inadequate and not good enough and unworthy this masculine energy feels, the smaller the space becomes that it's able to hold. And that means that the feminine also needs to cramp in. And when that happens, the feminine is like your emotions and stuff. So when that happens, your emotions are gonna burst out. And this can happen through maybe aggression through the masculine energy, or getting irritated very fast. Because there just isn't enough space. And the masculine will try to suppress the feminine by distracting itself or consuming itself, trying to find validation and love external, because it cannot hold the feminine energy as it is. It's trying to make it smaller so that it can hold it, because it doesn't trust itself that the masculine can expand, and it doesn't need to suppress the feminine. So when that happens, the masculine starts to self-destruct. Whether it's self-destruction literally within yourself or external. When you have an unbalanced masculine on a grand scale for a long time, things like war happen. There's a lot of greed, and the world just becomes really cold, and there's a lot of fear and controlling. And that's kind of the energy we've been in for a very, very long time. And because of this pain, these wounds that the masculine carries with him through thousands of years, hundreds, if not thousands of years, it carries a lot of shame and a lot of fear to actually take responsibility for everything it's done, because it feels like it's too much. So within the wounds of the masculine, there's also this collective aspect where the masculine has suppressed the feminine for so long. The reason why it was here was to protect, and instead it hurt the feminine time after time after time. And that's something that is very difficult to own up to for the masculine energy. It really, really hurts, and it carries a lot of shame around that. Because the masculine is already so harsh and cold and critical towards itself, it deeply fears that the feminine will do the same, that all his deepest fears of not being worthy, not being good enough, not being able to protect, not being adequate, that all those fears will be confirmed, and therefore they avoid. They try to not look at it and just ignore it. But when you look into the balanced masculine energy, you will find that that masculine energy takes responsibility for where it is and what it's done, because only from that place it can move forward. You can only move forward when you know where you are in this very moment. Within the masculine, there's also this fear, this great fear of death, because the masculine energy is your root chakra. It's the I am energy. And the blocker of this energy is fear. Fear can only exist when you are not connected with the I am, but you are identifying yourself with the separation. When you identify yourself with separation, that means that all these things that are separate from you are constantly changing. And change inherently has fear within it, because there's an unknown. But when you identify with I am, then everything is within you. You are that. So there's nothing that is changing. It already is you. It already was you. So that takes away fear. And that means that for the masculine to fully be able to ground itself, fully be able to be secure and stable, it needs to die. It needs the ego, the mind, the thing that it has been identifying itself with for so long, needs to die. It needs to know that it is all, so that from that place there comes this inherent willingness and need and desire to be of service and to protect and to provide and to hold space. This comes from within because it's innate within the masculine energy, but that only happens when it's able to step into the I am, knowing that everything it does to itself. So I'm just gonna go over the list that I made of unbalanced and balanced masculine energy. And you can see for yourself where you are at. Let's get over it. So the unbalanced masculine energy, it has an overactive mind. It's controlling and it fears losing control. The unbalanced masculine energy has a lack of purpose or a lack of mission. It has an inability to ground, no stillness or space within itself, distracting itself. It's a hard time to be vulnerable, feeling unsafe, unstable, chaos, no clarity, feeling paralyzed, greed, power, control, selfishness, not good enough, not worthy, cold experience of life, extremely intellectual, identification with the mind, just goes, has a hard time to sit still, fight or flight, victim mentality, feeling inadequate, destruction of self or others, expectations, avoiding, distant, and reacts. While the balanced masculine energy has spaciousness, clear direction, connected to his goals and his mission. It's the passion, fire, the drive. It's present, grounded, stable, secure. It has clarity, stillness. It loves a challenge, feeling powerful. It's detached yet warm and compassionate, giving / of service, balance between mind and stillness, takes responsibility, penetrates life with clear intention and purpose. It is a natural leader. It is in control of itself. It's the provider, the protector, and it responds from a place of stillness and clarity instead of reacts. Why it's so important to have this balanced masculine is also within reacting and responding, because if you aren't coming from a place of stillness, of PointZero, then every choice you make comes from a place of reaction. It doesn't come from a place of responding, where sitting in stillness, this thing comes to you, you observe it, and from that place you feel into your body, into your feminine energy, your knowing, your intuition. Is this something that I need to pursue? And you use your intellect, but it's something that comes to you, you observe it, and from that place respond, instead of immediately just going after it. And if you are in this unbalanced reactive energy, you might find that you are just kind of scattering all over, and you're just kind of in the dark reaching with your hands. But when you are in this balance masculine, there's just presence and stillness, and when something comes, you will know with clarity which steps you need to take and where you need to go. So a way, or different ways how you can do that, starts by taking responsibility. It simply starts by just owning where you are, saying it's better to know than not know, because without knowing, I don't know where to go. At least when I know how to move and what I still need to work on within myself, or whatever it may be. But this can only happen through taking responsibility. So that's the first step. Just looking with true honesty and authenticity, this is where I am. And no judgment. Allow yourself to be the observer, and just out of curiosity, look at, where is this person? What actions do they take? Creating stillness within yourself. Having the courage to sit yourself down and observe everything that is going on in your mind, everything that's going on in your body. Feel it, finish the thoughts, allow everything to flow, and just be the awareness that is observing everything. Don't identify with anything, but detach. Go back into being. And from that place of stillness, everything else will come forth. Second thing, how you can balance it within your own body, is actually taking deep breaths. Like taking a deep breath in. And with the exhale, just release your tummy. And go do it through the mouth. And really find the path of least effort. Just being. Detaching. Letting go. Going back to PointZero. And by doing that a couple of times, your nervous system will relax. You will get out of fight or flight energy, and your masculine energy will automatically start to balance itself, and you will feel more grounded. So that's a simple thing that you can do during the day, or you can just do for a longer period of time, kind of like a meditation. And this will help you to ground yourself and ground your energy. Another thing is gentle communication, because the masculine is already so harsh on itself. It's already so critical, and there's this cold energy to it. It's overthinking everything, that what it needs is just the warmth of the feminine. It needs the encouragement of, you got this. I know it's hard, but you got this. I believe in you. Because there it can find the courage to actually keep going. It's so afraid of all its deepest fears to be confirmed. And that only brings him down more and more and more. So instead, give it grace. Give it some love. Be gentle with yourself. Acknowledge yourself for the work that you do. How you show up for yourself every day, even though you might think like, yeah, but I could have done more. No, you couldn't have. You did your best. So thank you for doing your best today. So if you talk to yourself in that way, your masculine energy will be able to soften a bit and come back to the loving energy instead of fear. Now, another, like the most important thing that the masculine needs is forgiveness. The feminine needs safety, and the masculine needs forgiveness for not being able to show up as the masculine energy that it was supposed to be, or it needs to be, or it wants to be. Sorry for not being able to protect you, or not being able to provide, or hurting you, whatever it may be. It needs forgiveness for all of it. So sit with yourself and see where you need to forgive yourself. And these can be small things. And last but not least, the thing that got me into this beautiful, insightful journey of the masculine energy, and I think is really, really valuable, is giving yourself at least 2 days, but if you can, make it 3 days of no distractions. And when I say no distractions, I mean no distractions. No phone, no social media, no books, no music, no doing stuff around the house, not constantly in thinking mode, because when you are in thinking mode, you are still putting in effort and energy. So like no distractions, as little as possible. Just close your eyes, go inside and observe what is going on. And sometimes you want to explore a thought or a feeling, and that's totally fine. But always come back to the PointZero. Always go back to detaching yourself. And go and also recognizing which thoughts are destructive thoughts and which thoughts are actually useful. Because our mind and our thoughts is extremely useful. We just need to use it wisely instead of just allowing it to run free and be the monkey mind. We need to find a way to direct it and use it with purpose, use it with intention, use it wisely. So as you are in this no distraction challenge, really give yourself a chance, really commit to it. That's the thing, like I was really scared when I did this, that I wouldn't be able to not distract myself. And that I would be a failure in that way. But at least I said to myself, at least I know. At least I know. I know where I am at. Instead of fearing the worst, I actually know if I'm able to do it or not. And I'm done with fearing the worst, fearing ghosts that I don't even know if there's any need for me to fear it that much, you know? Do this for at least 2 days, but if you can, 3. And you will be a totally new person after. I can promise you that. Because all the mind and the body needs is some peace, some rest, no distractions for a little bit, so it can actually finish the thoughts, it can actually feel the feelings, it can actually process everything that happened in your life. It needs space to do that. So if you're constantly filling it up with more and more and more and not giving it space, then eventually you're going to get burned out, or you're going to get into a depression, or whatever it may be. You're going to have anxiety, you're going to have anger outbursts. Like it's going to overflow in some way that you don't prefer. So go back to stillness. When you are in that stillness, that's where everything else originates from. From that stillness, you will see with clarity where you need to go, which steps you need to take, which vision it is that you want. Because when you are in this pure awareness, in this stillness, in being, then you will also connect with your natural state. And our natural state is love and joy and gratitude. So the longer you sit in that stillness, the more moments of love and joy and excitement and gratitude will flow through you. And your mind will want to try and explain those feelings by creating some sort of vision or an idea. And those are the things that you actually want, because they come from within. It's not a journey or something from external, it actually comes from within. And that's how you create your vision. That's how you know how to move and where to go. So create stillness for yourself. It's great. I just feel the need to want to end it right now. So I'm gonna honor that and I'm gonna stop the recording. But I really hope that this might have helped someone somewhere gain a little bit more clarity on how to move and what is going on within themselves, just like it did for me. And yeah, I really hope that you are having an amazing day, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye!